everybody, it's Dave Juno, the Meniere's Disease Warrior. How you all doing? Doing pretty good. For Thursday, we got a storm coming. So I'm sure I'll probably be feeling later today or tonight, or hopefully not tomorrow. I got a doctor's appointment. But I think sometimes I do do this channel a little bit of injustice because I don't talk about other things that are wrong with me. And the reason for that is it's a Meniere site, it's a Meniere's channel, it's a vestibular channel. So I don't, and in support groups, I don't. Some people do, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it because you're trying to get support for things. But let's talk about other things that are wrong with me that don't stop me from going out. Okay, I have a condition in my right eye called iritis. Okay, it's the swelling of the iris in your eye. It's like arthritis in your eye. It makes my pupil look like a little pin dot. Becomes very sensitive to light where I can't even open my eye. So I can't see in my right eye. And I've had this since I was 18. So it's not anything new. When it gets really bad, I have to use a steroid drop and eye drop, and that's the drops that dilate your eyes, and it tends to help a lot because it will relax the eye. It relaxes the iris. But I've gone out like this into crowds and whatever. People will look at me funny. I don't care. Somebody wants to ask me what's wrong, I'll tell them. I'll explain to them. But I've done it. I've walked around like this, or I got my sunglasses on that are really dark because of that reason, and being light sensitive as well. But because of that reason, and people will go, "Oh, what are you, blind?" Yeah, I'm blind. Whatever. I don't worry about if people look at me. I don't care. I don't care if people look at me. Go ahead, take a picture. You can look at me all you want. I don't care. I get twitches in my face, muscle spasms under here, under my eyes here, under here. You'll see my eyebrows sometimes will go like that. My lip, big time, my upper lip will go like that. It'll go real quick, and that's it. I don't know why it does it. I've been doing it my whole life. People look at me because of it, so be it. I'm not going to stop myself because I'm going to worry about what somebody thinks. Okay? What else? I have also, once in a while, and you've probably seen it in the videos, and I know you have because my brother has seen it, and has told me about it. Do you know when your eyes go like this sometimes, and then it goes right back, and I'm like, oh, it does? I didn't really realize it. But it's like with anything, when you've lived with something so long, you don't realize it yourself until somebody tells you something. So yeah, once in a while you'll see my eyes go like that. And I've always wondered why people would say, is there something on my shoulder? Is there something on my face? Because I'm looking straight at them. I'm seeing them. But when they're looking at me, they're seeing that eye go like that. So they think I'm looking at their shoulder. So yeah, my eyes do that. But that doesn't stop me from going out and doing things. Doesn't stop me from, being afraid to go out because people are going to look at me or people are going to laugh or whatever. I don't care. I don't know them. I don't care. Family, that's one thing. I care about what my family thinks. But my family's cool, I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I am one of the lucky Meniere's patients that I have a family that understands. I have a brother that understands. Sister-in-laws, cousins, family really understands me. And most of my friends do. And the friends who don't, they're not my friends anymore. I had a friend who used to make fun of me because I was deaf. I haven't talked to that friend in 4 years. Because we're in our 50s. If you're doing childlike bullcrap, see you later. I just don't have time for you. And it doesn't bother me. The other thing I have that a lot of people don't know, and I don't think my brother even knew I had iritis. But the other thing I have too is post-traumatic stress disorder. And yeah, sometimes going into crowds, is hard. It's very hard. Even going to church, to be honest with you, I could go out fishing and be by myself and be fine, or be with one person and I'm fine. If I go to church and I'm by myself, which I have to go to film to record mass, it takes a lot for me to walk in there because it's a church. It's full of people, and if my wife isn't with me, I am literally, in between watching the cameras because I get panicky. I get this panic. So, from past traumas, even in 2021, my son took me to see Genesis, 20,000 people at the TD Garden in Boston. And I couldn't have walked in there by myself. And even with my son, I was still like I was like happy to be there to see Genesis for the last time ever in North America. But I was also panicking because there's all these people around me. I don't know, and it could be a stampede and the noises and lights and all this stuff. And I had anxiety, but I fought through it. And luckily enough, there was a friend of mine that was sitting right above us. So she came down, talked to us, and the girls behind us were really cool. And the people next to us were bigger Genesis fans than I was. And this was like their 15th time seeing them. They saw them back in the 70s. And so they were nice. I got lucky with a bunch of nice people around me, not people screaming, not people trying to start fights, but I don't know why you'd start a fight at a Genesis concert, but God only knows. People fight over anything today. But yeah, so for me to walk into that arena, it's scary, just because of the post-traumatic stress disorder. I get panicky, all these people. Red Sox games, I don't go to Red Sox games that often anymore. If I go, it's somebody's invited me to one of the luxury boxes. And there's not a lot of people in those. There's 10, 15 people. And usually you know everybody. So, but sitting in the crowd, forget it. I couldn't do it. Even when I was working and we had a box at Fenway Park, if I had regular seat tickets, I would always, find out who was hosting that night and say, hey, can you get me up there? And they would, yeah, don't worry about it. They'd get me into the box. So I would give them a ticket with whoever I was with, go to the seat, look up at the box, wave, they'd come down with another set of tickets and we'd go back up. So we'd go up, but it made it easier to hang out with friends that I worked with. So yeah, for the people who are afraid to go outside and stuff like that, I get it. I understand it. But you got to push through. Who cares who laughs at you, who looks at you, whatever. Your neck's doing this, or your jaw, maybe your bottom jaw's going like that. Who cares? It's you. And if people can't understand that, that's their problem, not yours. Don't let your life be run by other people. And that's a major issue, and that took me a major thing to overcome, is to not let people run my life. Because you know what? I got one life. I'm already disabled. I gotta live it. And I do it with safety and caution. So, later this month, my son has been begging me to do a road trip with him driving. And he's a good driver, except for that one accident. But, he's a good driver. And I said, okay, we'll go do a road trip. So we're going to be doing a road trip, not this weekend, next weekend, down to Philadelphia. So I'll be posting, maybe I'll make a picture collage and post it or whatever. And he's going to be driving. So it ought to be fun. He wants to do dad and son road trip. I'm not going to let Meniere's disease stop me from doing a dad and son or Dave and John road trip. I'm just not going to do it. So, because it'll be fun. It's always cool hanging out with him. He's the funniest kid I know. So, on that note, hey, listen, don't be afraid to live your life. Don't be afraid to go outside. You gotta push through sometimes. And believe me, when you push through and you make through to taking that one step, going outside or going someplace, you're gonna be so happy you did, because you've accomplished something. You did something. You did something you thought you couldn't. Because you're stronger than you think. You really, really are. And on that note, hey guys, have a great weekend. I'll talk to you all soon, and better days are coming, believe me. But like I said, not everything is rainbows, sunshine and rainbows. So have a great one. Bye.